So welcome to this repair video. I'm going to try and fix this old vintage computer. This is a Dynalogic Hyperion Portable PC. It is actually kind of IBM compatible. They were built first in 1983. They were only built for 2 years, and it was before the Compaq computer, the Compaq Portables. It's got a CRT display and two 5¼ inch drives. So it's kind of interesting. The keyboard slides out from underneath the screen. It actually comes with a carry bag as well, which was included. But I plugged it in and I tried turning it on, and nothing happened. Like literally nothing at all happens. So we're gonna try and fix it. I don't know if you can see that. I'm expecting that light switch to light up when it actually powers on. It doesn't do anything, so it's completely dead. Even when you plug it in with power and you hit that switch, it doesn't light up, nothing happens. So I guess let's get started. We're gonna have to take it apart and see if we can figure out what is wrong. Okay, so look, that's Z80A. So kind of surprised to see a Z80A in this. Why does it have a Z80A? Anyway, still cool. Let me move this into view. CRT hard drives are in here. My guess is that this is the power supply. Power supply actually looks okay. It's probably going to help me later. Okay, so now this is the innermost board, so we've not really been able to see this so far. But this is kind of really interesting. So what you've got, that's a floppy disk connector there. This looks like power to the board. I think this is some sort of battery module. Look, 0983. It's a 2.4 volt battery. Well, I'm almost certain that that thing is dead by now. But look, now we see different stuff. So here's an 8088 CPU. And you can see there's quite a lot of, what's that, 8237A. So this looks much more like a normal PC. So I'm pretty sure the Z8, so there's a Z80 on this board, which I'm kind of interesting that there's like a Z80, and I think it's just a peripheral processor. I think this is the main CPU, which is an 8088. So it is actually an IBM-PC. Oh, here we go. Dynalogic Infotech Corporation. And it has a serial number. And my guess is that all of this is RAM. Is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, so it definitely wasn't making this sound before. And I don't know, let's see if you can hear it. There's like a charging sound. So that's good. I think that's good. So let's just turn it up this way. So this is the button. Oh, look at that. It's actually on. Okay, so something that I've done. Oh, look, you can actually see the screen is lit up as well. Can you see that? Let me turn it off. Oh yeah. So we've definitely, something has happened there. Okay, so it seems clear that if I connect power to this board or these boards, and the main power goes through these two connectors here. Don't know if you can see those. If I connect power to these boards, bad things happen. So something is shorted to ground. That's my guess. There's, you know, if you look at these power rails, I don't know if you can see that. It's ground +5, +12, -12, and it's kind of like on both sides. It's a Molex connector. So I need to figure out which power line is causing the problem. And I reckon just figuring out which one is shorted to ground is probably a good start, and then like, you know, work the way through both of these boards. Okay, so that's pretty clear. So basically I have the ground rail shorted to the +12. Alright, so I don't have to remove this battery here, but I'm going to just, for some reason, I think I should. Okay, so using a voltmeter, I figured out that this board had a 12-volt line that was just shorted to ground, and then, I mean, just by checking the voltages on things, I figured out that there was a tantalum capacitor, this little capacitor here, that seemed to just be a dead short. I looked up the spec sheet, so it was this C4 capacitor, which is a 16-volt 33 microfarad capacitor. I took it off the board, I just snipped it off. The short went away, which is good, and I've put in an electrolytic capacitor. It's 33 microfarads. It's the same rating in terms of capacitance. It's 50 volts, so slightly higher in terms of voltage rating, and you know, it fits on the board. The short's kind of fixed. It seems like that one capacitor was the problem. So yeah, let's see where we get to. Okay, so I've got to put it back together. The new capacitor actually is just there. I don't know if you can see it. There's no battery, there's no bias battery in here, so let's see what happens when I switch it on. So that's definitely an improvement. Just the fact that it lights up is an improvement. So yeah, there's something going on there for sure. Okay, so we've made some pretty good progress. The machine's like powering on. I now get a disk fault message on the screen, so the CRT is working. The floppy disk lights are on, but that's about it. Disk fault message means that either a logic board error or a floppy disk error, floppy disk drive error, so I'm going to have to diagnose that next. Thanks for watching.